praise. Hallel.
Hallel.
We want to welcome you to another Shabbat studies here with the THWM Ministry. My name is Raah. This is my reader, Brother Makaal. We greet you in the name of the Heavenly Father, Elyon, the Shaddai, the Barah, our
That's right.
Yasha, our Shalom.
That's right.
Today, sisters and brothers, we're going to go into part 3 of Forever and Ever. How long out?
Ever and ever.
Forever and ever.
And never ever.
Is there an end to that?
No.
All right. And so here at the Highest Way, we seek to teach all nations of people how to find true salvation, those really looking for the truth, the path of the Most High, according to the Holy Scriptures that we have, the lost books, history, and just eye account witnesses in different lessons that we teach. One of which is this series, Forever and Ever, as we're looking into what happens while we die, which is what we're on now in 2 and 3, what happens when we die, and when is forever and ever. Stick with us, sisters and brothers. We always pray you get edification as we go into these studies. And if you have not watched part 1 and 2, you must do so you will understand where we're at in part 3. As always, share this with your family members and friends. Like, put comments, send emails. We will look at them and determine whether or not they're worth responding or they're just questions amiss. But we will use the Most High discernment on that. But as always, let's get ready. After this, after we open up with our scripture, we're going to have a song selection by Musiq entitled Praise the Most High. And then we will get into today's Shabbat study. Khan?
Khan.
All right, let's stand. Let's face towards Jerusalem, face towards the east, whichever direction that is for you. In the building you are in. Whenever you're ready,
But be continually with the godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of El, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. And let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is none more faithful unto thee than it. And above all this, pray to the Most High, Elyon, that he would direct thy way in truth.
Hallel, sister and brother.
Hallel.
That scripture reading came from Ecclesiasticus 37, verses 12 through 15. Now we just actually get your note-taking tools ready. We ask that you pray for the Most High to give you discernment and understanding as we go through this lesson. Right after this song selection, we will start our Shabbat studies. Hallel.
Hallel.
Water with the little nibbles and skibbles. Testing. All praise to the Most High. I don't know about you, but I got to give him some praise and some glory today. Woo. Hey, let's go. Everything with breath in it, you should be giving praise. The Most High is magnificent. We glorify his name. It just might be in some English or even in Hebrew. We thank him every chance we get because of what he do. Ah, praise Abba. Praise Abba. Praise his holy name. Everything with breath in it, you should be giving praise. The Most High is magnificent. We glorify his name. It just might be in some English or even in Hebrew. We thank him every chance we get because of what he do. Praise Abba. Come on, y'all. Praise Abba. Praise his holy name. Praise his holy, praise his holy, praise his holy, praise his holy name. I'm gonna praise his name. I'm gonna give him praise. I'm gonna praise his name. Praise his holy name. Hello, El. Praise Abba. Come on, y'all. Praise Abba. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. All right, we'll keep going on. Technical difficulties. All to the Most High we praise. Allow him for this glorious day. For he is worthy. He is worthy to be praised. Halal El.
All right, saints, shalom. Let's let's start this lesson with a scripture, just to put in your notes for remembrance. As always, I want to welcome you to the Shabbat studies here with the Highest Way Ministry. I am Raah. This is Brother Makaal. We about to get started. Let's go to First Esdras in your Apocrypha, chapter 8, and let's read something. Because on our journey, finding forever and ever, we're looking at why we die. Right now, we're looking at the causes of why we die. If our intention from the Most High was for us to live forever and ever, why are we dying and only living 70, 120 years, and so on? What happens when we die, and then when is forever and ever, right? We're going to conclude this series with those topics, right? But let's start with this chapter and verse. First Esdras chapter 8, verse 69 and 70. Switch your screen back to the slide. Make the slide bigger. We're on the first slide with the scripture. First Esdras 8. All right, Doc, let's go. First Esdras chapter 8, verse 69.
The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land.
This is what the Most High, if you remember part 2, this is what he warned them about. Coming up out of Egypt, trying to get to the promised land, the direction they took, the Most High already knew that there were giants in the land, very influential people that had practices that the children of Israel coming out of captivity would not be able to withstand. Go ahead.
Nor the pollutions of the Gentiles.
Now look at these Gentiles that are in these lands, these strange people. I didn't say it. I know people, I talk to people and they keep saying, I said. I know I'm teaching, but you are reading with me, right? If I said it, you reading it, right? So it's in your mind because you are looking at what I'm reading. It's not like I'm sitting up here with no books and nothing, just talking out of my head. That's me talking. You ain't got nothing to go on. But if you got this apocrypha, or you can look it up on a Bible app on your phone or on a Bible app on your computer, you can read it, right? Who are these Gentiles?
To wit, of the Canaanites.
The Canaanites, right? Which you could say broadly all the descendants of Ham, Canaan, right? You could say Canaanites, Amorites. You could broad brush it, or you could get it a little bit more specific. Go ahead.
Hittites.
Okay, Hittites, go ahead.
Parasites.
Pharisees.
Jebusites. And the Moabites. Egyptians.
This is where Israel came from.
And the Edomites.
Don't forget the Edomites. These are the strange people of the land. This is who Israel, and even Israel today, is mating with, marrying them, having kids.
That's right.
At this point in time, the blood population in the pool of mankind has been polluted with the fallen angel blood.
That's right.
Listen to me. It's been polluted, knowingly or unknowingly. When you start mixing outside of your people, you are bringing into your lineage things you know not. Things the Most High might have said, don't ever do. Why are we not supposed to mix with these specific people listed? Go ahead, verse 70.
For both they and their sons.
So it ain't just the ones in the wilderness or coming out of the wilderness that they mated with. Their children and their children's children, even today. See, that's the mystery. That's how do we end the lesson? That's Waldo. Where is Waldo? Where is the hidden people at that are causing all the problems, right? Go ahead.
For both they and their sons have married with the daughters and the holy seed. And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Who have been partakers of this sin? Stop. I need the The brothers who's already mixed with they Latino and they European wives, and you already got all these mixed kids, and you sisters that's already mixed with the Gentiles, got you a white husband, a Spanish husband, like you talking about you Israel and you in Hebrew Israelite communities, and now you got a problem. I can't help it if you're a child of a mixed race seed. I'm just reading you factually what this book, these biblos, these lost scriptures say. I am not your enemy. You understand me? I was not your parents or your grandparents or whoever chose to fall in love because love has no color and you love who you love. Well, listen, there is a fallen angel, and fallen angels have mixed with man, and this bloodline and this seed is still on the earth today.
That's right.
And they mix with certain people that in Deuteronomy 7 and here in 1 Esdras 8, the Most High made an effort to make sure to tell us who these strange people were. Why? Because they were going to turn your heart from the Most High. We are not to mix the holy seed with the unholy seed or the strangers of the land.
Teach y'all.
That's just how we're going to start the lesson. Now, y'all seen how we ended the last lesson. So now we're going to pick right back up where we left off. All right? So put that verse in your lesson. Hold that bullet. Make sure you understand who the strangers and the Gentiles are, right? Now, let's get this book definition over here. Now, we were talking about the Amalekites, right? We were talking about the Horites in part 2. We were talking about how Esau mixed with these daughters of Cain, and that's how Amalek came to even be. He had children with one of Ham's, Canaan's, one of those Hittite seeds, and he had the Amalekites. So the Amalekites is always going to be mentioned with the Jebusites and the Disthites, and anytime you see these ites, we talking about mainly Cain's children, right, or the descendants from Ham. Right. And as we saw with the Horites or the Horim were there in Mount Seir. Seir, Horite, same people. They were displaced and replaced by who? Esau. Now, when Israel, now watch this. Read everything highlighted. Now put this in your notes. This is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Show them the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. This is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. This is the definition and the breakdown. Oh, what page we on?
This right here is page 234.
Page 234. We're on a breakdown of who. This ain't on the slide. So Zondervan Bible Dictionary, page what?
234.
234.
Beginning of the last chapter.
Right. This is a breakdown of what happened to Judea in 70 AD. Read this out.
The Edomites were also subject to Babylonian, to the Babylon. Under the Persian Empire.
Okay, stop that. So not only did Nebuchadnezzar, not only did he take Israel, he took Edomites to where? Babylon. So he displaced and took Edom out of Mount Seir as well, right? Go ahead.
Under the Persian Empire.
So the Persians took over what Babylon had. So that meant the Persians was colonized and in control over Israel and Edom. Go ahead.
Edom became a province called Idumea.
So previously Mount Seir became Idumea. Under who? Well, Mount Seir became Edom. Edom became Idumea by who? Whose authority? Just keep reading that same shit. So you're up top still, right?
No, that's it from the top.
No, just keep reading past the highlight.
Okay. The Greek form.
No, start the whole sentence, whole paragraph. All
right. The Edomites were also subject to Babylon. Under the Persian Empire, Edom became a province called Idumea. The Greek form of Edom. In 325 BC.
That's good. So we know in Daniel, in the kingdoms that came, we know Babylon initially took Israel, but they didn't just take Israel, they took Edom. Then Babylon was conquered by the Persians. Then the Persians was conquered by the Greeks. Now we see in this same thing broken down in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, right? So then Mount Seir became Edom. Edom became Idumea. At the time of the Persians, and kept that name under the Greeks. Now drop down. So what happened?
From Idumea came Antipater, Salakia,
Uh-huh.
the father of Herod the Great. He became procurator of Judea
Uh-huh.
after the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 AD.
So, Antipater was an Edomite. What did we just read in 1 Esdras 8? I'm just tying all this together. This is just the intro, right? We just trying to tie these holy angels with this seed of people, right? How did Edom get mixed up in all of this fallen angel through his descent, so through Esau marrying into the Canaanites by having children with the Hittites and the Hivites and these daughters, right, of this lineage, right? And so now we can see Most High said these are strangers, don't mix with them, don't have kids with them, don't mix the holy seed. Now history says that when Babylon took Israel, they also took Edom. Then Persia had Esau and Edom under captivity. Then the Greeks had Esau and Edom under captivity. And then while the Romans took over, they put someone in place, or the Greeks put Antipater in place over Judea. Antipater was a Edomite.
Mhm.
He was an Idumean. That's how you get Herod in the Bible. Herod that was trying to so-called kill baby Jesus, and Herod, right? He was an Edomite in control in Judea over the Israelites.
Mhm.
Go ahead,
The Idumeans disappeared from history.
Wait a minute. How did the Horites disappear? Listen to me, y'all. How did the Horites disappear? They disappeared because Esau came, right? Then how did how did Edom disappear? It didn't disappear. It changed its name to Idumea. But then once Judea disappeared, the Idumeans, who already had a king in Judea, they just took over Judah and Edom. They just stopped calling themselves Edomites, and the Idumeans or the Edomites started calling themselves Jews. Read it from the top,
All right. After the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 AD, the Idumeans disappeared from history. Thus, the rather mournful career of the Edomites came to an end only in the early centuries of their kingdom.
It came to an end like they disappeared. No, they didn't disappear. They just migrated into another place, just like they came into Mount Seir, and they made those people disappear. They assumed their identity, right? The same way the definition says about the Horites. The Edomites became them. So they don't call themselves Horites. They call themselves Edomites or Idumeans. And then once the Romans sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, those same Idumeans who already had a king assumed the position of the Jews. Go ahead.
She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from El.
Is that at the bottom of that?
Yeah.
All right, you could drop that. So now that we have that in our understanding, what's the importance of reading 1 Esdras 8 and 69 and 70? Because the Edomites, not only the Edomites, but the Egyptians, not only the Egyptians, but another word, I want y'all to circle that word Hittite. Y'all remember the word Hittite came up in the last lesson, part 2, right? And it's going to come up today. The Jebusites come up in previous lessons before, right? We've always keep coming back to this scripture because for some reason we have an affinity to keep mixing the holy seed with strangers. All right. Now, that's the intro. Take all that in your notes. That was a lot said right there. Now, let's go to Esther chapter 2. Because you remember, Babylon took the Israelites back into their land. And then they sent people from Mesopotamia and Babylonia into the land which is called Israel or Canaan or whatever you want to call it, right? You take a people out, you put a new people in. Your people who are loyal to you. You take away that I'm gonna take you out your house, and I'm gonna put people reverent to me inside your house, right? Let's go to the book of Esther, Esther chapter 2. Y'all know the story of Esther, but let's get some information out of here. Esther chapter 2, we're gonna start at verse 5. Go ahead.
Now in Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Raah or Jair, the son of Shemiel, the son of Kish, a Benjamite,
He was a Benjamite, Mordecai. Go ahead.
who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with
Jeconiah.
Jeconiah, Salakia, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
So we talking about the same story, right? We talking about the same thing in Zondervan. We talking about these same people. When you read the book of Esther, it's not a trilogy, but it's a story. It's a parallel between three people. It's the captor, who is Babylon or Persia, and how did Persia get in control? Well, they took it from Babylon, right? But we seeing Mordecai came in through the Babylonian captivity, but Babylon didn't just take Israel, they took somebody else, they took Edom. Go ahead.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
All right, we just touching on this story. Let's go to Jeremiah. Because Mordecai came through the Babylonian captivity. So let's just look real quick at this captivity. What do we, I thought we were talking about forever and ever. Well, you got to figure out if you can make it to forever and ever, because you got an enemy trying to displace you, replace you, and stop you from getting to forever and ever. By how? Making you displeasing to your creator. You understand? Jeremiah chapter 27. We're going a long way to get to somewhere short, but you're going to learn what you need to learn so you won't be confused anymore. Jeremiah 27, we're going to read 1 through 17. Go ahead.
Excuse me. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, came this word unto Jeremiah from El, saying, Thus said El to me, make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck, and send them to the king of Edom.
The who?
The king of Edom.
Okay, go ahead.
And to the king of Moab, and to the king of Ammon, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah, king of Judah.
These is all the kingdoms that are under the captivity of Babylon.
That's crazy.
This is the whole Mediterranean coast, and everybody that you see from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates, they all under the control of Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
And command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith El of hosts, El of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto your masters.
Say what?
I have made the earth, the man, and the beast that are upon the ground, by my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me.
El is saying, I have given power and authority over this whole earth to somebody. Go ahead.
And now have I given all these lands in the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon.
What? Why would he give that to a king of a strange land? Well, we already know the story. That's because Israel's disobedience. And this is what he said that was going to happen. I'm going to remove you from my sight. And he empowered Nebuchadnezzar to do it. Go ahead.
My servant. And the beast of the field have I given him also to serve him.
Okay, go ahead.
And all nations shall serve him.
How many nations?
All.
All nations, particularly the ones that he mentioned in verse 3. Go ahead.
And all nations shall serve him, and his son, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come. And then may nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that the nation and the kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon. That nation will I punish, saith El, with the sword and with the famine and with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand.
Did he make this same proclamation for Israel?
He did.
See, we was never supposed to have a king, but once we had a king, anybody who wouldn't get down with our king was going to have a problem. He was going to bring the sword, pestilence, right? All these things he's saying here, this is nothing different than the power that he gave the kings over Israel and Judah, right? But now he's empowering Nebuchadnezzar with the same authority. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all. To now take captive his chosen people. Not just his chosen people, all Hebrew descendants, everybody in that Levant, right? Go ahead, verse 9.
Therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon.
All them kings that he mentioned that got this word, right? He's saying, do not listen to your normal counsel. Who's going to say, who is this messenger and by whose authority is this person to tell us that the Elohim or the creator of all has now said all power and authority is in his hands?
Mhm.
Who is he to say this to us, right? We could just come together and try to fight him. Or is it already too late, right? He's saying, don't listen to your advisors. Heed the message. Verse 10.
For they prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, and that I should drive you out, and ye should perish.
See, this is that false witness. Like, hey, don't listen to this messenger. They just trying to take our land like they did Israel. They want to take us out and put somebody else in. They want to gentrify us.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon.
But those that heed this message and do come up under the authority of Babylon, go ahead.
And serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land, saith El, and they shall till it and dwell therein.
Man, why couldn't he just get at to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom? It was too late for them. But all the other kingdoms that was left, hey, if you come up under the yoke of Babylon, hey, we won't take you out and put people from Mesopotamia or the Far East in your land.
Mm-hmm.
We won't take you out of your land if you follow Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
I spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people and live.
Go ahead.
Why will ye die? Thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine. That's it. By the famine and by the pestilence, as El had spoken against the nation that would not serve the king of Babylon.
Did Zedekiah listen?
No.
He didn't listen.
No.
Go ahead.
Therefore, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, ye shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you.
Okay, don't listen if you want to. Go ahead.
For I have not sent them, saith El, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, and the prophets that prophesy unto you. Also I spake to the priests and to all his people, saying, thus saith El, hearken not to the words of your prophets, but prophesy unto you, saying, behold, the vessels of El's house shall now shortly be brought again from Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. Hearken not unto them, serve the king of Babylon and live. Wherefore should this city be laid waste?
So this is just a small glimpse of who put Nebuchadnezzar in power. Y'all hear me? Listen, he displaced the children of Israel, right? You got a messenger coming to the king of the Most High people, telling him to get down under the authority of a stranger. What do you think Zedekiah is doing? He's looking for his prophets and his holy men who talk to the Most High. Hey, tell us this thing is not so.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so, right? Now let's see, how did we get to the story of Esther, and how did the children of Israel get in under the Persian captivity. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4. I want you to see the Most High will put you in place. The Most High will lift you up. But as soon as you disobey, the Most High will empower a heathen stranger to take everything that you just acquired from you.
Mm-hmm. To rule over you, huh?
And rule over you. Look at the state we in today. But I'm talking about just even in your personal life. You could be the supervisor and the manager, and the next thing you know, you done got demoted, and the people that you done trained up is over you. How did it happen? I'm going to show you how it happens. Watch what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel chapter 4. Watch this. Remember, who put him in control? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Start at verse 1?
Start at verse 1.
All right. Nebuchadnezzar, the king unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high Elohim had the road, that the Most High Elohim had the road toward me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation.
Wow. This is Nebuchadnezzar talking.
Yes, sir.
He talking about the same Elyon we serve.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 4. I Nebuchadnezzar.
I.
That's what he said. I.
Go ahead.
I.
This in the book of Daniel.
Yes.
But Daniel's scribing or somebody's scribing what they heard Nebuchadnezzar say.
Yes.
The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, appointed and gave him power by who?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Created El himself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 4. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me.
Go ahead.
Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream.
Okay.
Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof.
Go ahead.
But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying.
Wait a minute. Now read that verse one more time. How did Nebuchadnezzar, who was given his power by the Most High, how did he describe Daniel or Belteshazzar?
Okay.
Read it again.
But at last,
the
Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God.
Who is Nebuchadnezzar's God? No, you're going to say it's that statue he built, right?
Yeah.
But who gave him power?
El.
But what God? Now keep going. Now he said, named after my God. Go ahead.
And in whom is the spirit of the holy gods.
How many gods is that?
That's multiple.
That's more than one.
Yeah.
The one he served just happens to be Shamash or whatever the golden statue was, right? But who gave him power?
El.
Okay, go ahead.
And before him, I told the dream, saying,
go ahead.
O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians.
Daniel is a what?
Daniel was a
just read what it says.
Oh.
Belteshazzar what?
Oh, it say master of the magicians.
Where the mad guy come from? Where in the east? Where Daniel people come from? Y'all type in, where did the Hebrews come from? Who was called Magi? Who are the magicians? Who did the world know? Chaldees.
Oh, yes.
That's where Abraham came from, right?
That's
so
right.
That's where Abraham daddy and them lived. So Nebuchadnezzar already know who Daniel people is. Listen to the story, y'all. I'm just stopping on the way. This might be a 10-part series trying to show y'all. Look at this stuff revealing itself as we go. Nebuchadnezzar, who's appointed by the Most High, who built that statue, learned his lesson, he got punished. But look what he called Daniel. a magician. But the Hebrews were magicians. Well, the Hebrews come from Ur Chaldees, where they were known to be called magi's, right?
Mhm.
Those that could prognosticate and those that could read the signs of the heavens, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know the spirit of the holy gods is in thee.
See, he's saying the spirits of the plural holy gods is in Daniel, this magician, or this Daniel who can do what? Interpret the dreams that nobody in the kingdom of the world, because he said the whole earth is in Nebuchadnezzar's hands. So in the whole world, there's nobody who can interpret dreams like Daniel.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen and the interpretation thereof.
Go ahead.
Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and in the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it.
Go ahead.
I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven.
A what?
A watcher.
Is this a good
And a
watcher or a
holy
bad
one.
watcher? We know
Well,
the
sound
bad
like
ones, we ain't finished concluding, but we know the bad ones came delivering bad messages.
That's right.
But we got, it say a watcher,
Mhm.
a holy one came to Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He cried aloud and said, thus hew down the tree,
Hew down the tree.
and cut off the branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit.
Uh-huh.
Let the beast get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with the band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts and the grass of the earth.
Go ahead.
Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
By who?
The decree of the watchers.
Okay, go ahead. We got watchers at the time of Daniel, y'all. We're not talking about after Noah. We're not talking about at the time of Jared. We talking about the time of Daniel and under the captivity of the Babylonians. We got watchers visiting Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
And the demand of the word by the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Okay.
Whoa.
Man, what is going on with these trees and leaves? And why is the Most High needing to let itself be known that he dwells with man still? Go ahead.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the beasts of men.
Okay, this is basis. So basis of men.
The basis, the lock.
All right, now we got to read this verse one more time and then we'll keep going. I can help you read if you need to, but read 17 one more time.
Okay. This matter is by the decree of the watchers.
This matter, this vision that's being given to Nebuchadnezzar that can't nobody interpret is by the holy ones, is by the decree of the watchers to do what? To the intent of what?
Where we at?
17.
Okay, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know.
So at this time, did Nebuchadnezzar, who controls all the earth, did man do something to where the living don't know the Most High, or know the power of the Most High, or know that the Most High is in control? Go ahead.
That the Most High, Elyon, ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Wait a minute. You see Nebuchadnezzar, but the Most High saying, I rule.
He rules.
You see him, but I am in control.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. Oh, you want me to finish 17? Salakia. And giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basest of men.
So Most High empowers who he wants to be in control.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 18. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof. For as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee.
Go ahead.
Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was anointed, astonished, Salakia, for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee.
So whatever Daniel or whatever Belteshazzar, whatever was revealed to him, he did not want to say to the king. He delayed his interpretation for a whole hour. Go ahead.
Belteshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies.
Go ahead.
The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king.
Oh no. This interpretation is about Nebuchadnezzar? Go ahead.
It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reaches unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth.
How did he get all of that?
Yeah.
From the Most High, Elyon, right? Go ahead.
And whereas the king saw a watcher and a holy one coming down from heaven and saying, hew the tree down.
Oh no. Y'all think that's good that the watchers come down? If Nebuchadnezzar is the tree, you think it's good that the angels are coming down saying, hew down the tree?
No, sir.
That means take him out of power. Take him out. Go ahead.
And destroy it. Yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with the band of iron and brass, and the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field, till 7 times pass over him.
Till 7 times pass over him. Go ahead.
This is the interpretation, O king.
This is what all that means. Go ahead.
And this is the decree of the Most High, which has come upon my Lord the king.
How many times you see Most High? That's Elyon.
That's right.
Go ahead, verse 25.
That they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee till thou know that the Most High Elyon ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Who rules in the kingdom of men?
Elyon.
Do y'all think we forgot that Elyon rules on this earth in this kingdom?
I think so.
Do people even know Elyon?
No.
How important is the name in this story and in the book of Daniel?
Very.
It keep coming up. But do they call the Most High, the Creator, the Raah? Do they call him Elyon?
No.
The Almighty? Do they call him El Shaddai? They don't. So when things happen and the world starts getting shaken and kings start falling, it's to let you know that the Most High El is in control. And here to use the basis, the lowest, the people with the worst, the people with the worst reputation. Are they not the ones leading?
To humble you.
How do the lowest people get to the highest offices in governments?
That's crazy.
All right, verse 26.
Verse 26. And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that, thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule.
Okay, so whatever about to happen to the king, you're going to get displaced until 70 times is up, but your kingdom is still going to be in power over the earth. Go ahead.
Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thy iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be lengthening of thy tranquility.
Listen, Nebuchadnezzar was given power by the Most High to take out these kingdoms and to punish Israel and Judah. Really Judah, because of what? Because of their sin. Mm-hmm. Now he's been given all dominion and power over all the earth and all the nations. And guess what it's saying? Now there's a vision about him being displaced because of his sins. Mm-hmm. We got to see what he did. Go ahead.
Verse 28. All this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar.
Why did it come upon him?
At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon.
After this vision, 12 months later, he was walking in the palace, and what happened?
The king spake and said, Is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power?
Wait a minute. This is what he was thinking. This is what he was doing to make the watchers and the holy ones come and to bring him a vision in his dream. Mm-hmm. The same way he got the dream that his kingdom would fall, and then the Persians would come, then the Greeks would come, and then the Rome, the same vision. All of this is happening to him, the chosen one. Remember, he was chosen by El. Mm-hmm. You are chosen. I'm chosen seed. I'm a child of the Most High. That's great. But your sins will have your knees cut from under you. You are the tree, and you will be hewn out and punished as a public example. Do we not see our leaders being made public examples in their fall? Mm-hmm. Do you think they really intended for the whole world to know of their dysfunction? Mm-hmm. No, but the Most High raised them up so high, and he brought them so low to let you and them know that he is still in power. This is the lesson that we got to know. Why are people dying? People are dying, and people are being displaced and being put into captivity because of sin. Listen to him. All of this is happening to you, Nebuchadnezzar. Because of this, what Nebuchadnezzar, this is what's in your mind. Some of you get all the things you want. You get the cars, the houses, the job, and you forget who helped you get it. Right? Start it from the top. Go ahead.
The king spake and said, Is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power?
By whose power?
By the might of my power, by his power.
Who built it?
He said he did.
They say the great temple, you could ride chariots, can race around the walls, on top of the walls. This is a great city that had thick walls, and they could ride around on chariots to patrol this city. Nebuchadnezzar saying, I did it. It's my power. All kingdom and glory on this earth, I did it. Mm-hmm. What? Go ahead.
And for the honor of my majesty.
Whose majesty?
His majesty.
This is thoughts that you get in your head. This is that trickle of that fallen angel blood that's probably in everybody now. That wickedness that's upon everybody now. Who make you think like this? Mm-hmm. You get on top, you start your business, you the number one business in that genre, and now all of a sudden your butt don't stink and you can't lose. Everybody that want to do business in this sector got to come to me. Oh, yeah? Go ahead.
Verse 31. While the word was in the king's mouth.
While he was yet speaking this blasphemy. When you yet be talking and puffing yourself up of how great you is, while you yet be talking, go ahead.
There fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar.
O King Nebuchadnezzar. You don't want to hear no voices like that.
No, sir.
You don't want to hear no deep rumbling. He already hearing visions. He already seeing visions in his sleep.
Yeah.
Now he actually hear. When was the last time the voice of the Most High spoke to any children of Israel? Mm-hmm. When's the last time he talked to David? Y'all hear what I'm saying? He hears a voice from heaven say what?
O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken. The kingdom is departed from thee.
Wow. Who could do that except him who gave him the kingdom?
That's right.
Go ahead.
And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High, Elyon, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
How many times do you need to be whipped? How many 7 times? This sounds like it go back to Leviticus 26. How many 7 times do you need before you learn that the Most High is in control? How many times do you need to be? How much do we got to be punished as a people? Why can't we get on the same page? We got too many people with this mindset. I did it. I did it with my own sweat and tears and my power. This is my business, and this. I did it. You didn't help. Nobody did it but me.
They say they Roscoe Jenkins, the power of me.
Uh-huh.
That's what they saying.
You don't want the watchers, and you don't want to see visions and the voice, man. You don't want to see your fall before it happened. Was not he given this dream before he opened his mouth to say the wickedness?
He was.
Come on, man.
That's the cold-blooded thing.
That's the cold part about it. Verse 33.
The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws.
Let's see who the most powerful people in the world. Could you see videos of Vladimir Putin? You would think it was fake news if you seen him crawling on all fours, eating food in a stall with pigs, out in the field with cattle, eating the grass, walking with the cows on fours. You see Donald Trump, who's at high, and the next thing you know, there's videos of him running around with packs of dogs in the woods. You'd be like, what's going on here? You see somebody so high, the smartest people, the Elon Musk or somebody like that. Next thing you know, you see them acting like animals. The king over the whole heaven and earth, all power, all nations, everybody we read about was under the power of Nebuchadnezzar. And in 1 hour, he was struck down, walking on all fours, eating grass. Go ahead.
Verse 34. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up mine eyes unto heaven.
He came to, boom. In 1 hour, boom. He don't know what he is. He an animal. He walking around. He peeing and pooping. He don't have clothes on. He out in the wilderness, driven from mankind. Then all of a sudden he comes to himself and says, what?
I lifted up mine eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me.
Yeah, you lose your mind, sisters and brothers. This is how people are dying so fast. You lose your mind, and all of a sudden you get too high up on yourself. And I did it, and I can do it, and I don't need nobody. And when you saying that, then you try to catch yourself, oh, except the Most High. No, you said it the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
You believe you could do it,
that's
then
right.
You tried to add him in the second part. He looked up to heaven, his understanding returned to him, and what happened?
I blessed the Most High.
You don't see Jesus right there.
Mm-mm.
Why did they put Lord right there? Why did they put Elohim right there?
Come on, good
That's
point.
Elyon.
That's right.
Look at the magnitude of this story.
It's all Most High.
Go ahead.
I blessed the Most High Elyon, and I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion
he does what?
Liveth forever.
What happened to all them holy gods and all them gods he was talking about?
Yeah, they out of there.
He talking about, I know who El is now. He the one had me out there eating grass and took my kingdom away. He didn't take me away from it. He separated from me from my kingdom, so I'd be out there like an animal, and everybody know I'm out there living like an animal. When everyone's bowing down to me, he got people clipping his toes, washing his feet, think of coming to America. He didn't do nothing himself. He didn't dress himself. He didn't wipe himself when he pooped. He didn't do none of that stuff. They put him to bed. They brought women to him. The whole world was at his disposal. He looked up to heaven and said, no more. I get no more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I was crazy. I lost it for a minute. I'm back. I bless you. I honor you. Halal. Go ahead.
And I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation.
He was talking like that was him.
Yeah. At first.
At first, he was talking like that was him. Now he figuring out, no, that's Elyon. Go ahead.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
We are nothing, and even I'm nothing. This is the king that's ruling on this earth over every living thing. Every piece of grass, everything was given under his authority. He like, aha, we are nothing. Go ahead.
And he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay in his hand or say unto him, what doest thou?
Go ahead.
At the same time, my reason returned unto me.
Uh-huh.
And for the glory of my kingdom, my honor and brightness returned unto me.
So that he had lost all understanding, all wisdom. He had lost all comprehension. He didn't know right from left and up from down. He said, everything returned, my reasoning, my understanding, everything returned unto me. My counsel, go ahead.
Mine honor and my brightness returned unto me. And my counselors and my lords sought unto me. And I was established in my kingdom. And excellent majesty was added unto me.
Uh-huh.
Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to obey.
Man, now listen, we just learning as we go, right? But what is the point of this? He was given the power and authority by El to conquer the nations, even the chosen seed of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And now in this story, Israel brought, not only Israel came, but Edom came. He was also a conqueror over all of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
We read that, right?
That's right.
Canaan, Hittites, Perizzites, Enites was under the authority of Nebuchadnezzar. Y'all understanding the story?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's drop back and go back and visit Amalek.
All right.
Can y'all remember how Amalek came to be? How did he come to be? The Amalekites came to be by having an Edomite father
And
a Hittite mother. Right? That's how you get Amalek.
That's right.
All right. Now, Amalek, out of all the ites, the Amalekites became the perpetual. How long is perpetual? Forever.
Forever.
Perpetual is forever.
That's right.
Enemy of Israel.
Forever.
Let's go to Exodus 17.
Let's do it.
You need my help reading now?
No, sir.
We're reading today.
I'm trying not to learn while I read. Just
Right.
read.
You go back and watch the video.
Yeah.
Exodus 17. We're going to start at verse 8. Exodus chapter 17.
Barakatah again.
Exodus 17. Pick it up at verse 8. Go ahead.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Josiah.
Wait. Let's get one context. Read verse 1.
Okay.
Exodus 17:1. Read that real quick. Let's get context. What's going on right here before Amalek attacks Israel? Go ahead.
And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandment of El, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink.
Drop down to verse 8.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
Y'all know that Amalek came and attacked Israel right after they did what? Murmured and complained.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the message of why you're going to die. Because of your complaining and because of your sinning. The Most High will get the strangers and empower them to punish, captive, or kill you. He gave Amalek power to do this to them. Why? Because he punished them for murmuring about not having water to drink. I brought you out of Egypt. I brought you out of your hard situation, but you not patient enough and believe on me to help you get to your promised land.
Uh-huh.
to get to your new job, to get to your new house. You just going through the wilderness, but you ain't waiting on me to get to your promised land.
That's right.
You asked me for it. Now you patient, you impatient, and you're not waiting on me to send your blessings. The same way he sent enemies to hurt you, he's gonna send enemies to bless. He gonna use strangers to bless you. The exact same, he using the other nations to bless his people, but he will also use them to punish his people. Go ahead,
Verse 9. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out of men and go out, fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of El in mine hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
Y'all remember this story now. As long as he held that staff up, Israel was winning the battle. And as soon as he got tired and dropped it, Amalek started winning, right? Go ahead.
But Moses' hands were heavy.
His arm hurt. It's heavy. Now you hold your arm up for a certain amount of time, it's going to get heavy. It's going to start hurting in your shoulder first, right? You're going to drop it to get that relief. Go ahead.
And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands.
See, he leaned. He see, it's still from your shoulder to your elbow on that stump. So he just had to hold his forearm up. Now his forearm is tired, right? Now they need to help keep that forearm up. Go ahead.
The one on the one side and the other on the other side.
So you got a man on one side and a man on the other side holding up Moses' hand. Go ahead.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek.
Just discomfited Amalek. He whooped him bad. Right? Go ahead.
And his people with the edge of the sword.
He defeated them. Go ahead.
And El said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Now watch what I'm about to say, because we're about to get deeper into this lesson. I want to ask you, did this happen yet? Just because the Most High say something is going to happen, that doesn't mean it happened yet. In 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 4,000 years, it's going to happen when he said it's going to happen. But he didn't put a specific date and time on it, right? He didn't say in such and such years or in such and such generations. He just said, I'm going to do it. But this is something we're supposed to rehearse. So if you're supposed to rehearse it in the ears of Joshua and the leaders and the people, that means we need to always remember and never forget that Amalek did this to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi.
Go ahead.
For he said, because El had sworn that he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Wait a minute. So he first say, I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Are we under heaven? We're under the heavens of heaven.
That's right.
So that's here on earth. Then he turns right back around and say what? That the El will have war with Amalek when? From generation to generation. Y'all follow me yet? All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 25. Watch this. Amalek. How did Amalek come to be? He's a descendant of a Canaanite seed and an Edomite seed, right? And we were never supposed to mix, right? Especially with Canaan, especially with Edom. But so now we see they're mixing, and they've created a seed line that is going to be the enemy of the Most High, right?
That's right.
We talking about we hate Esau. No, Amalek is the enemy, right?
Esau.
Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 25. Deuteronomy 25, verse 17 and through 19. Go ahead.
Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt.
What did Amalek do? Do y'all know what Amalek did? Y'all need to know what Amalek did, because you're supposed to remember this forever, because they are a perpetual enemy of Israel from generation to generation. Are you alive right now?
Yes, sir.
You're an adult right now.
That's right.
In your generation,
Still
you
for us
don't have to
remember.
make up spooky, ooky demons that don't exist. Demons and entities you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High is telling you that from generation of life to generation of life, as long as the children of Israel are on this earth, they will have an enemy, and they need to remember that that enemy is who?
Amalek.
I didn't see it. We're reading it. Go ahead.
How he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee.
You know what he
even-
did? While they was walking in the wilderness, he was getting the people at the end, the weaker people, the people that was falling behind,
Picking them
the
off
people
at
that was
the
walking
back.
slow, the people that couldn't walk as fast. He was taking those out, right? Go ahead.
Even all that were feeble behind thee,
Uh-huh.
when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not El.
Go ahead.
Therefore it shall be, when Elyon hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about,
Uh-huh.
in the land which Elyon giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it.
You struggling, and there's an enemy in your way as you was trying to get to your promise. Christianity would have you believe that enemy is something you can't even see. But you make it to the promised land, how do you go back and utterly destroy something you can't see?
You can't, because you can't see it.
And why does that thing that you can't see always keep popping up in your life over and over? When you get into a rocky place, you keep going through the same struggle. And see, they got us looking for something that don't exist instead of the enemy that is in our face. When you get into your promised land, they had one job. First, he say, when you get there, don't mix with the people.
Don't.
Then he got there and he said, wipe all these people out.
Kill everything.
They didn't do it.
That's right.
But then at the very least, out of all your enemies, look, out of all your enemies that are around about you, when you get shalom from all the people around you, you get peace and you get rest and you get your Shabbat from all the enemies around you. Don't forget to go back and utterly wipe out from under heaven Amalek. But you ain't learned about Amalek in the Christian church. You ain't talking about Amalek in the Hebrew Israelite community. Ain't nobody talking about this perpetual enemy of Israel. Now let's go to Judges. Now let's see what happens after the time of the 20, after the 20 years and up, after we get into the promised land, right? Into the time of the Judges, right? We still was supposed to wipe out all of these enemies of the Most High. Let's see what happened in the time of the Judges. Judges 6, verse 1. Because the Most High we read in Ecclesiastes, in Esdras, who are the enemy. You can go, who are the Gentiles and the strangers. You go back to Deuteronomy chapter 7, says the same thing, but they don't say, I don't think they say Egypt, and I don't think they say Edom. So basically, anybody that's not Israel or chosen seed is your enemy. But watch this, Judges chapter 6, verse 1. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of El.
Okay, so here we go again. When you start murmuring and complaining, you're going to get punished. When you do evil and sin, you're going to get punished. So here's the time of the Judges. Man, we ain't even got into the promised land. We ain't even got a king yet. We ain't got a kingdom yet. So all that stuff he did, getting us out of Egypt, all the water, all the mammon, all the quail, everything he did in the wilderness, how easily we forget the last blessing. Hey, how many times have you forgot the last thing the Most High did for you? You keep forgetting the last thing he did because now you praying and asking him to do something else. And just like Nebuchadnezzar, when you forget what he already done for you, you're going to get the big head and you're going to forget the power of the Almighty. And instead of giving you that next promise, he got to humble you so you can remember. Stop playing with me. The Most High is all about punishing his children and getting them to understand, man, listen, stop playing with me. Like I'm just here to give you stuff. Go ahead. So they did evil in the sight of El. Go ahead.
And El delivered them to the hand of the Midian 7 years.
So how many times? Come on, man. All social media talking about is all these people dying, girlfriends killing boyfriends, husbands killing wives, for going out to party, people getting ran over. Like, you in the right place at the right time when tragedy happens. Oh, why did this happen to me? The Most High delivered these people into the hands of the enemy. You go back and look at people post, look at what people believe, look how people live. Oh, it makes sense now. You're an enemy of the Creator. You weren't trying to do nothing good on this earth. The Most High will clean this place up himself when he want to, like Nebuchadnezzar said, because he can.
Because he
Who's
can.
going to tell him why he doing something?
That's right.
Go ahead, verse 2.
And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds.
Wait a minute. You tell me the Israelites started living in caves? I thought the Edomites was only the ones living in caves.
Hey, obviously Israel had to do it too. Huh?
Israel was hiding in the mountains, man, because the Most High was sending these enemies at them in droves.
Go get them.
Wait a minute. Israel, Jacob is the son of Isaac.
Yep.
Isaac is the son of Abraham.
Yep.
Abraham had another wife, Keturah, who had children named Midian. You Midianites Hebrews? Midianites Hebrews.
Hebrews. Not Israelites, but Hebrews.
Verse 3, go ahead.
And so it was, when Israel had sown, the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them.
Again?
The
Amalekites was riding the Midianite way. The Amalekites attacked them on their own in the wilderness, and then they jumped on it again when they seen the Midianites. What happened? The Midianites is attacking Israel again. Mike, get the troops. Let's go, Mike.
Go get them.
Let's go get them. Let's go get them for what happened to us in the wilderness in Rephidim. Get the boys, man. We're gonna jump in too. See what we can take back with us, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth.
So whatever the Israelites was growing when they came out of the mountains, whatever kind of food they was growing, whatever plants, whatever food, the Midianites and the Amalekites was taking it from them. Whatever crops, whatever babies they had in the spring, look, they show up in the spring, and whatever babies dropped out of the earth, they took it all. Go ahead.
Until thou come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass.
See? Whatever animals they was raising, whatever was dropping babies in the spring, they were taking everything, every crop, every animal. Go ahead.
For they came up with their cattle in their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it.
Go ahead.
And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites.
Not just the Midianites. Don't ever forget that the Amalekites are the perpetual enemy. They're going to always be there when there is a problem. Go ahead.
And because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried out unto El. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried out unto El because of the Midianites.
He did what?
Verse 8. El sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them,
What'd he say?
Thus said El Elyon, the Elohim of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of the oppressed, you of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land.
Go ahead.
And I said unto you, I am El Elyon, the Elohim. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice.
And you have not obeyed my voice, and that's why I send the Midianites and the Amalekites tagged along, and they took every increase of your substance and left you with nothing. Who sent them? The Most High sent them. All right, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 15. Let's move further along in the story. Let's move on, man. Let's move in the time of Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 15. We're going to skip around a little bit. We're going to see how your perpetual, I could have did a whole lesson on your perpetual enemy, but that ain't what we're talking about. We on forever and ever, but I got to show you that even today, there's somebody that's trying to kill you in your food, in your water, in your medicine. They're not trying to have you have no jobs. They don't want you, they don't care about where you live.
Come on out.
There's people that they having world summits, and you can look at people sit on there saying, yeah, and we plan on killing about half the population by 2030. Like it's men sitting up there, you looking at somebody saying they're looking at killing populations on the earth, and ain't nobody in the uproar.
No.
Where is this dude at? Get him before he get us. You telling me there's people out here planning to wipe out populations of people and ain't nobody in an uproar. Okay, we got to see who these people are having all these secret summits and having all these meetings and talking all this and talking all that. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 2. Go ahead.
Thus said El, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
Wait a minute. He talking to Samuel, and here we in Deuteronomy. We talking about Amalek again, y'all.
Yes, sir.
How the Amalek came to be?
From a Hittite and a
Edomite. Huh. He not a pure descendant of Canaan.
No, sir.
And we know the fallen angels made it with the children of Canaan.
That's right.
But now we got Esau, who is a Hebrew, mixing with the fallen angel blood. Now this mixture is a perpetual enemy of the children of Israel. You finished verse 2?
No, sir. Thus saith El, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt.
What did he say? Read verse 3 and then we'll drop down.
Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Ain't that what they did? Ain't they what they did in the time of the judges?
Mm-hmm.
When they rolled with Midian? Ain't what they did? And that's what they tried to do in the wilderness.
That's right.
And now he telling Samuel to tell Saul to go out and utterly destroy him.
Kill everything.
Kill everything and everybody. Drop down to verse 5 and go ahead.
Verse 5. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, get ye down from among the Amalekites.
Wait a minute. He sent a message to the Kenites.
That's right.
Separate yourself from these Amalekites.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
Lest I destroy you with them.
Lest I kill all y'all with them. Go ahead.
For you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up to out of Egypt.
Oh,
so
the Kenites showed love and favor.
Gave
them some bread and gave them some water and some victuals and placed the rest. The Kenites showed love to Israel coming out of Egypt.
That's right.
So we're going to spare you. We ain't going to kill you, but you got to separate from them right now. Hey, here we go again. Hey, put this in your notes. Now here the Amalekites is linked with the Kenites. Why are the Amalekites by themselves? They always leeching and sucking on the back of some other kingdom. It's all through the book. I'm just showing you a few of them. But that just hit me in the head like, man, they riding with the Kenites, riding with the Midianites. Man, goodness gracious. Go ahead.
When they came up out of Egypt, so the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
So I'm wondering what the Amalekites are saying why the Kenites is leaving. It's like the porters is over at the house, the looters, and then they get a message, hey, leave the looter house. Hey, man, it's about to be a drive-by. And then all of a sudden they start packing up. Hey, Shalom, man. Hey, I'm gonna see you. May not see you, but I see you when I see you. Hey, man, where y'all going, man? We just sat down, man. We got the hot dogs on the grill. We got the chili. Hey, man, we'll catch y'all next time.
We got to get down the road.
Like these Kenites is like they're getting about, man. All right, that's just how rushed it was, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah,
Havilah.
Salakia, until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt.
Go ahead.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Put verse 8 in your notes. Highlight Agag in your Bible. Now we fist to go back to the story of Esther. Go back to the book of Esther, or move forward in your Bible, I guess, towards Psalms, and get to the book of Esther, back to Esther chapter 9, and we're supposed to see once again Amalek under a new identity. How did he get in this story at the end? Read Esther chapter 9, verse 24. Go ahead.
Because Haman, the son of Hamad-Maratha,
Haman, the son of Hamathadah.
Yeah, okay. Haman, the son of Hamathadah, whatever, like Raah said. The Agagite.
The what?
The Agagite.
Wait a minute. Haman, the whole story of Esther, Haman tried to totally annihilate Israel under the captivity of Persia. Haman was an Amalekite, an Edomite, Hittite, angel blood mix, a perpetual enemy of Israel. Sisters and brothers, why are y'all even reading the story of Esther? This is not trilogy. This is a story between Israel and Esau. This is between Israel and the fallen angels. Look at this. Haman, whose mother, the Agagite, he is the son of an Agagite, and we just read that the king of Amalek was Agag.
That's right.
So Haman is the seed line of the king of the Amalekites.
That's crazy.
Go ahead. What did it say right after Agagite?
The enemy of all the Jews.
Who's the enemy of all the Jews? The Agagites, the Amalekites, the Edomites, the Hittites, angel blood.
Girgashites? Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast that is, the lot to consume them and to destroy them.
So Haman had put that whole plan together to destroy Israel by trying to get Haman and all the Israelites killed. And that's the story of Esther coming to her husband and asking him the questions and being the wife and saving her people from their perpetual enemy, the Amalekites. Agag is an Amalekite. Agag is the king of Amalekite. Amalekites come from the seed bloodline of Esau
and
the Hittites. Go ahead, next slide.
All right. In the Bible, Agite is a term used to describe Haman, a character in the book of Esther. It's an ethnonym, a name used to refer to an ethnic group, tribe, or people.
Tribe or people. Agagite just means Amalekite, right? Go ahead.
That figuratively refers to Haman as a descendant of Agag, the king of the Amalekites. The Amalekites were Israel's hereditary enemies.
Hereditary, perpetual, forever and ever enemies, y'all. Satan ain't your enemy. The devil ain't your enemy. There is a bloodline of people that are your enemy. So if you're running around saying you are Israel, you have a hereditary, perpetual, forever enemy that is in the business of killing you.
And been doing it.
Successfully. Since the wilderness. Let's go to Malachi chapter 1. Now we got to go back and look at another chapter and verse. Now we can get some understanding. Now that you know that Agagites, the Edomites, are the perpetual enemy. The Amalekites, the Agagites are the perpetual enemy of Israel, the hereditary enemy of Israel. Now let's go back to Malachi chapter 1 and see if we can make this make sense now. We've been using this all out of context. We've been using this chapter and verse totally wrong. Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. Go ahead.
The burden of the word of El to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith El. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said El.
Was Esau not Jacob's brother? Is Esau not a Hebrew Abrahamite?
That's right.
Yeah. His
Yes,
daddy
he
was
was.
Isaac. Same daddy. Go ahead.
Yet I love Jacob. And I hated Esau.
Do he hate Esau, or do he know that Esau is the progenitor of the Amalekites, the Agagites, the forever enemies of Israel? What we talking about here? Go ahead.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
What are the mountains of Esau? Mount Seir.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now, right? Now it's right here in this passage. Go ahead, verse 4.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said El, they shall build, but I will throw down.
No matter what generation, whatever seed line of people come to try to rebuild the wasted places, the Most High said what?
I will build.
They will build.
They will build.
I will throw
lay
down. Even up to 2025, wherever you see condos and places getting rebuilt, Petra, we're gonna start a new complex in Petra and Mount Seir or Mount Paran or any of those places where they dwelt. The Most High say, "What? I'm gonna throw it down." Meaning, I'm never gonna let them get too high because they are gonna come kill my people. Go ahead.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Who's the border of wickedness?
Esau.
Who is Esau?
The Amalekites.
Is that the only people that he made it with? What do they look like today? What does an Edomite look like today? Go ahead.
The people against whom El hath indignation forever.
So why does the Most High have indignation with them forever?
Because of what they did to Israel.
Who are these people? And if they are around forever, why don't you know that that's your enemy? And that's the reason why you dying. They the ones putting in your water. They the ones that have you eating food that nobody else in the world eats. Toothpaste that nobody else uses. Eating food that nobody else will consume.
Yeah.
Verse 5.
And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, El will be magnified from the border of Israel.
If you know where the borders are, and the people are the borders. Wherever you scattered, your enemy is coming to find you because he put you there. Go to the next slide.
Whole new meaning of that script.
Now look at this. Look at this map. I just want to show you a couple places. This is Iraq, right? This is the Levant. Over here,
Baghdad.
it's coming to the Euphrates, coming into Mesopotamia.
Okay.
But look, you got Israel, Jordan, Lebanon. Listen to all these names that's in the news. Syria, Turkey, Armenia. You might hear Georgia, Russia. You see Georgia at the top.
Yes, sir.
Azerbaijan, because see, we be watching the cooks, the dudes be in the wilderness cooking and stuff. Yeah. He's in Azerbaijan. Seems like a beautiful mountainous place full of libation, right?
Yeah.
But you don't understand that most of your New Testament scriptures is in this Turkey, Syria area. This Apocrypha in the New Testament and all of Paul's writings is mainly in Turkey, what we call Turkey today, right? If you break it down. But I want you to remember this map, right? Let's go to the next slide. This is the Jewish Virtual Library. What did I say, Art?
All right. The Amalekites were a people of the Negev and adjoining desert that were a hereditary enemy of Israel from the wilderness times to the early monarchy.
Go to the next slide.
Armenia is also sometimes called Amalek.
What?
What?
Wait a minute. Let's go back to the map. Go back to the map. Armenia.
It's called
It's to the,
Amalek.
if you're looking at the slide, it's to the right. Armenia, as you get into the mountains, right? You know what's important about the Armenia area? That's where they say they found the Ark
of the covenant.
of the lost Ark, Noah's Ark.
Oh, Noah's Ark. Okay.
It's supposed to be in that mountainous area up there, right? Now look, let's go back to the slide. Read it from the top, Art.
Armenia is also sometimes called Amalek in some sources, and Jews often refer to Armenians as Amalekites. This is the Byzantine term for the Armenians.
For the Armenians, Armenia, Byzantine Empire, Constantinople. This is where the Turkish, the Orthodox Church is, right? This is the Byzantine. I'm showing you those pictures because Cher, the Kardashians' daddy, was Armenian. Cher's Armenian. A lot of you young people don't know who Andre Agassi is. He's Armenian. And many other people that don't claim to be Armenian are Armenian. That whole Armenia, Turkish, Syria area is full of Amalek. Now keep going. The next slide.
All right. So this is the Jewish Virtual Library continued. The subject, Armenia. In the past, Armenia has been connected with the biblical Ashkenaz.
Wait a minute. Now, where do we get this information from? The Jewish Library.
The Jewish Library. That's the source.
The Ashkenazi Jews are the ones in the majority of number around the world. Armenians, Amalek, are connected to Ashkenazi Jews. Go ahead.
The Armenians are termed the Ashkenazi nation.
They are the Ashkenazi nation. So just because they don't call themselves Armenian, if they say I'm an Ashkenazi Jew, you're Amalek.
That's right.
How many exist? Out of the whole Jewish nation, how many of them are Ashkenazi? That is the majority of people at war over there in the East. Go ahead.
In their literature, according to this tradition, the genealogy in Genesis 10:3 extended to the populations west of the Volga. In Jewish usage, Ashkenaz is sometimes equated with Armenia. Come on now.
Ashkenaz, Armenia, European,
Amalek,
Turkey. How did they get there? They replaced the Jews, the black Jews.
Right.
They replaced the Horites,
right,
the giants. They replaced the South Africans. They replaced the Australian. They're just replacing people. Wherever they're carried and wherever they show up, they become in large number and they take over. We're gonna read it. Watch this. Go ahead.
In other expositions found in rabbinical works, Armenia is linked with Uz.
Wait a minute. Uz. Man, where do we hear that word before?
The son of Uz. Who was that?
That? It's right here in the Septuagint. Wait a minute. It's in the book of Job. In the Septuagint, it say Job come from the land of Uz. Right here on page 510, or in this in your Septuagint, if you go to the last book of Job, the last paragraph, if you got a Septuagint and see where it say Job come from, it say Job come from the land of Uz, right? It's not you ain't gonna see it in here in your because in your 66 books, it got how many verses we got? In chapter 42, yeah, it got more. It's missing. It's missing out of you got too much missing out of the King James. You get the Septuagint and read Job, right? Read Job chapter 1 in your King James. Heck, we didn't even have to go to the Septuagint.
All right.
Go to your King James, Job chapter 1, and what it say? 1 and 1.
There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job.
Now go back to your slide.
Okay. In
Yeah.
other expositions found in rabbinical works.
What do we say them rabbinical works were? One of them was the Midrash that's in the
uh,
Talmud, right?
That's right.
Rabbinical writings is the Talmud. Go ahead.
Armenia is linked with Uz.
So are they telling us who they are? They're telling us all the code words and where's Waldo. They're telling us how they've identified themselves.
Yes.
But we got another one coming up. Keep going.
The anti-Jewish attitudes prevailing in the eastern Byzantine Armenian provinces.
Where? You read too fast. You got to see the words and expound on them when you read and get into them, right? The anti-Jewish attitudes prevailing in the eastern Byzantine Armenia. Go ahead.
Provinces made the Targum identify it with the daughter of Edom.
Listen, now the Targum is like the
we read
like the
that.
hidden what's the one when we was reading about Mesopotamia? What was those scrolls called? No, the ones about Canaan. The Ugarit. You got the Ugarit, you got the Targum, you got the
what's the
Numa
Elish.
You got the Dead Sea Scrolls. You got the just the Targum is one of them.
Yeah.
You want to see ancient stuff, you find the Targum, you find the Ugarit, the Numa Elish,
the Dead Sea Scrolls.
all of that stuff, right? Go ahead.
Okay. The daughter of Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz.
The daughter of Edom dwells where?
In the land of Uz.
So Uz is supposed to be Armenia. So how did they get from Mount Seir all the way up there by Turkey or East Turkey? Go ahead.
Or with Constantine. In the land of Armenia.
Go ahead.
Now, Virinashir between Urfa and Nazbin or Nisibis.
Go ahead.
Hence, Job's land of Uz is referred to as Armenia in some commentaries. For instance, in those of Nahamanides and Joseph B. David Ibn Yahya.
We're reading out of the Jewish Virtual Library, right? And we already saw it in the Septuagint, but really we didn't need the Septuagint because we just read Uz in the first chapter, first verse of the King James Version. All right, go to the next slide. Keep going.
The Uz Armenia of Abraham, Pharisol, is however the Anatolian region near Constantinople.
Turkey, go ahead.
Armenia is also sometimes called Amalek.
Come on, y'all. And Amalek is who? You
Esau.
don't even got to say it. Amalek don't have to be. They are the hereditary, perpetual, forever enemy of who?
Israel.
All right, that's all. Go, keep going.
In some sources, and Jews often refer to Armenians as Amalekites.
Who refers to Armenians as Amalek?
Jews.
Go ahead.
This is the Byzantine term for the Armenians.
All right, skip down to where it's highlighted.
Khazaria was originally Amalek.
Come on,
Khazaria was originally Amalek, helped to support the assumption that the Khazar Jews were descended from Simeon.
You know that's a lie.
First Chronicle.
You know that's a lie because Khazarians converted to Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden they want to say that they descendants from Simeon, one of the 12 tribes. Stop it already, right? Next slide.
The Armenians had been formed as a people by 521 BCE.
So they weren't even formed until under the Persian Empire, right? Because this is right before the Greeks took over, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next highlight. What did it say?
Jewish captives in the Armenian cities.
All right, go back down. Y'all got this slide, so y'all gonna go back and pause it and read on your own. Go ahead.
The Jewish Hellenistic immigration continued by 360 to 370 when the Persian conqueror Shapur II reduced them by massive deportation to Iran. The cities were largely populated by Jews.
So how we get Jews in Iran and Iraq? Y'all didn't know that.
Deported.
Y'all didn't know that Amalek Y'all looking for Esau. Y'all need to be looking for Amalek.
Amalek. Yes,
Because the
sir.
Jews is telling you they people was taken from Armenia, from Turkey, and put into Iran, Iraq, or in the east. Iran, Iraq, all these places they trying to take over, they was put in the east, right?
Yes,
All
sir.
those slides that we had, y'all go back and read them. We gonna, for the second time, we're gonna keep going, right? What's the whole point to all of that, right? You got to know who your enemy is, and that's a glimpse. Yeah, I rushed through it, but you get the point. I hope you do. Who the hereditary enemy is and who they might be,
Amalek.
and how they might be
Amalekites.
hiding. Amalek, Armenian, Turkish,
Armenians,
Syrian.
Syrians, European.
The blood of the fallen is coming through a certain people. If I can find this stuff out, you don't think they know it? You don't think they know it in their rabbinical teachers, who they are, who they call themselves, who their daddy made with? Esau had a baby with her and had a baby with her, and then she had Amalek, and then Amalek had babies, and then all of a sudden now, 2025, we call them Armenians. The Jewish Encyclopedia call them
Armenians.
Ukrainians and all that. I mean, you keep going, like the name Ukraine popped up. I was like, okay, whoa.
Call them Amalekites.
They everywhere. They started their breed through Canaan, but then they started getting lighter and lighter and whiter.
Mm-hmm.
All melanated people ain't the same, and all people you call white are not the same.
That's right.
We found the fallen blood. Now we see the fallen blood in people, right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 33. Exodus 33, verse 2. We want one verse. How fast can y'all get there? Students online, they just read when they see the slide. Y'all should still be practicing turning in Bible pages. Exodus chapter 22, verse 33 and 2. Excuse me. Go ahead.
And I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite.
The Hivite and the Hittite. Why were they important? Turn the page to Genesis 26, and let's go back and revisit again how important these Hivites and Hittites were. Genesis chapter 26. Now we gotta go back. Now we gotta go back and come back up because people forgetting about where's Waldo. Waldo is the Amalekites, and they popping up all through the Bible. Genesis 29, verse 34 and 35. Go ahead.
And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri, the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elyon, the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah.
Isaac and Rebekah, it infuriated them because the Hebrew took to wife Canaanites. They made it with the fallen bloodline. Who? Esau. She seen Esau do that. She sent Isaac away. Oh no. Excuse me. She sent Jacob away. Oh no. Oh no. Esau, it grieved him. It vexed him that he took wives of these Hittites. Go to the next slide, huh?
Strong's Concordance. Hittite H2850. Descended from Heth, the second son of Canaan.
Watch this.
Central Anatolia, modern Turkey.
Inhabitants of where?
Central Anatolia, modern Turkey.
Go to the next slide, man. Now all of a sudden, we went from Armenia, we got Amalekites, and now we got Esau having babies with the Hittites, and now they're in Anatolia, Turkey.
Man.
Later, it say the Hittites was in North Lebanon. So they were way down here in Mount Seir. Esau wasn't being moved, but Amalek was moved. He was moved to Babylon.
Yeah.
Then he was moved to Lebanon. Then he was in Armenia, and he was in Turkey. You got Edom under the guise of their descendants, Amalek, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you just gotta put the pieces together to find out why it's important to know who your enemy is, because you can't see him coming. Now look at this other one, right? Look at this other. Go to the next slide. In Exodus 33:2, he said he's going to bring angels to help drive out the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, right? Now, what's a Hivite?
Did I go too far?
Yeah.
Okay. So a Hivite, age 2340, is the sixth generation of descendants of Canaan.
So Esau bred with a Hivite, and Esau bred with a Hittite.
Mm-hmm.
Now go back to the next slide. So we saw where Syria was on the other map. So look at that. Mount Hermon is in Syria. It's on the borderline of Lebanon and Syria.
Wow.
Seem like these Amalekites like to be in mountainous ranges.
Yeah.
Right?
They hide.
They want to be, they got kicked out of Mount Seir, so they want to be back in some kind of mountain range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Genesis 36:1. Genesis 36:1 through 3. Let's see if we can find out here.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
Right.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan,
Which grieved his mother and father, right?
Yes, Ada, the daughter of Elyon, the Hittite.
Stop right there. So you say Ada, the daughter of Elyon. Right here in Genesis 26, it say, and Beershemeth, the daughter of Elyon. So it's Beershemeth Ada?
Very well, maybe. You know how their names be
Wait
changed.
a minute. All right, I'm gonna let you keep reading. Don't go back. Stay where you at. Go ahead. Esau took wives of the daughters of Canaan. Ada, the daughter of Elyon, the Hittite. Okay, go ahead.
And Aholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite.
Okay, so we see he took a wife, Judith, the daughter of Beri, the Hittite. And what it say in this verse?
And
Ada, the daughter of Elyon, the Hittite. Aholibah, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth.
Wait a minute. So now we got Ishmael involved? And now we got the Nabateans? Look at the next slide. Where's the Nabateans at? So everywhere it's on news we at war is where Amalek is. Or not Amalek, Esau got different names.
Yeah.
So Esau got children with Ishmael's daughter. So we got the Nabateans. This is the Nabatene land. Jordan. We got problems with Jordan in the news. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went up, and then we was messing around in Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Then we was over in Mount Hermon. We was up in Armenia, Turkey, Syria. And then if we go back and read that slide, you can see that Esau was taken into Iran.
Yep.
There's a population in Iraq and Iran of Edomites or descendants of Esau and these Canaan children. This wedlock here we're reading about in Genesis 36 and Genesis 26. These wives that Esau had, these descendants have now mixed and mingled in the Middle East, Far East, Europe. We already know that he with the Chittites and he's in Edom is in Rome. We already know they took over Jerusalem and Idumea disappeared. They disappear and they take on the identities of these people. And you got to do your Where's Waldo and start trying to find out where they hidden, because these are the perpetual enemies. If you're walking around talking about you a child of the Most High and you're an Israelite, you better find out who the seed line is. Go to the next slide, who your enemy is.
All right. Bashemath, Hebrews 13:15. Hittite wife of Esau, daughter of Ishmael, sister of Nebaioth.
Esau didn't just breed with the Horites. with the giants.
That boy moving around.
He bred with Ishmael
Mm-hmm.
and Canaanite seed.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say that. The cousin, kinfolk.
I don't think they ever saw that coming.
Mm-mm.
Ishmael daughter.
That's crazy. Right?
And are those alliances still today? My wife said Esau was trying to build them alliances. You think those alliances are still together to
Absolutely.
fight?
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
Psalms 83?
Yeah.
Dude's trying to jump the gun in front of the teacher, huh? No, you're not. Psalms chapter 48. Psalms chapter 48. That's after the fact. That's like thanking God for your many blessings after the fact. We're having a whole conversation here. Slakia family. Psalms chapter 48.
Come on out.
Psalms 48 and 14. Go ahead when you get it out.
All right. For El is our Elohim forever and ever. He will be our God even unto death.
Okay, so we got a guy unto death, however it happened. But yeah, some people die from, what do they call it? Natural causes. A lot of these natural causes we die from today, somebody is making it happen.
That's right.
It's something we're ingesting. It's something we putting in our hair. It's something we brushing, putting in our mouth. It's something we putting on our body. It's in our clothes. I mean, they're blatantly telling us in worldwide news they want to kill half the population.
Yeah.
But the Most High El sits on the throne forever and ever.
And ever.
Okay.
And ever.
Go back to Psalms 45 and 6. Read that.
Psalms 45, verse 6. Thy throne, O El, is forever and ever. Thy scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter.
You think David had to learn this lesson like Nebuchadnezzar? Sure he did.
Absolutely, man.
He was the king of all Israel, fell short, sin. Most High had to punish him. Yeah, oh yeah. He transgressed big time. And guess what? The Most High had to humble him with his own family members. His own kids. And now we reading and singing the praises of the Psalms.
That's right.
But that's a hard lesson learned, right?
Hey, hard.
Hard.
I don't want to learn no lesson like that.
So the Most High sits upon his throne. He is forever and ever. He is our creator, our shalom, our peace. Let's go to book of Enoch chapter 9. We might have read this one last week. Enoch chapter 9, verse 3 through 5.
All right.
Go ahead.
And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their petition, saying, bring our cause before the Most High, Elyon.
Why would the mankind be asking the King of Kings, the creator of all beings, the Almighty, what petition could we possibly have today in 2025 like they did back then in the time of Jared or Noah or David or Jeremiah? Like, what petition could we have that we could send before the throne? Go ahead.
And they said unto the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and the God of ages, the throne of your glory endures through all generations of the ages, and your name holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages.
Ain't that what Nebuchadnezzar said?
Yes,
but he
sir.
said that was Elyon, didn't he?
That's right. These are just other names for El.
But these are other characteristics, but where Jesus at?
Ain't no Jesus in
Where
there.
Yeshua at?
Come on now.
Verse 5.
Slacking. You have made all things.
No, Christians say Jesus made all things.
No, sir. El, you have made all things, and you have power over all things. And all
power
things.
All power is given to Jesus.
No.
Okay.
And all things are revealed and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you.
Yeah, ain't that what Nebuchadnezzar said after he had to be punished 7 times? And once he woke up, all understanding came back to him. And he was saying something like this too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's scary to say that after every reset, we got to wake up. Oh, you the Almighty. Oh, all majesty, all honor and glory are to you. Oh, we've been worshiping the wrong deity. Sorry. We've been in the wrong. We shouldn't have been in these denominations. We shouldn't have been hating. We shouldn't have been doing it. My senses. I got my senses. You was wanting us to love, and you was wanting us to follow you and your commandments. I get it now. But how much you got to be whooped before you wake up? How much are you not looking at your enemy and he in your face hurting you before you know he the one whooping you?
Mm-hmm.
You steady compete with other people instead of worrying about the enemy that you need to protect yourself from. You get hit over here and you worried about taking, instead of joining your resources with your brethren to fight against this enemy. We're not coming together, and man, we're going to lose this battle. We're going to lose to the point of, like he said, take Nebuchadnezzar away from the kingdom, but don't destroy the kingdom. He learned his lesson, and he was put back.
Mm-hmm.
King David was removed, and he was put back.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be
how much
back
do you are, and how long do you have to be whooped before you wake up and come to your senses to be reinstated? Let's move on. Enoch chapter 10. Enoch chapter 10, verse 1. Go ahead when you get it. Forever and ever. His throne is forever and ever. We got an enemy that's forever and ever that's trying to eliminate and wipe us out just like Haman. Do you care? You may not care. You may think Jesus got you covered. Okay. That don't mean you're not going to die. That don't mean they're not going to get you sick. That don't mean they're not going to take you into captivity. That don't mean they're not going to make it hard for you to move and have your being in this so-called free world. Book of Enoch chapter 10, verse 1. Go ahead.
Then said the Most High El, the great and holy one, Uriel, go to the son of Lamech. Say to him, go to Noah and tell him in my name, hide yourself and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and the flood is about to come on the whole earth, and I will destroy everything on it.
He said, go to Noah and tell him in my name. What was the name he said in verse 1?
So the Most High, the
Which
great
Elyon. That's what it means, right?
That's what it means.
The Most High means Elyon. All right, verse 3, go ahead.
And now instruct him as to what he must do to escape, that his offspring may be preserved for all the generations of the world.
Let me ask you something. If you knew the power was about to go out for an entire year, and the Most High gave you a vision and told you to tell the people and told you what to do to survive, would you do it?
You got no choice. Yes, sir.
Everybody's saying they doing it, but people calling you crazy. There's
right.
no evidence the power is going out. Mike, what you talking about? You're not going to go to your job and start telling everybody the power is about to go out for a year. Are they going to believe you?
Nope.
Did they believe the dude that was running around came from Georgia to California telling them the place was about to burn?
Nope.
Did they prepare?
Nope.
Did they get ready?
Nope.
They laughed at that dude, and then when California caught on fire, where he at?
You know what?
As quick as he was going viral for saying something crazy, ain't nobody, I ain't seen him on no podcast. I ain't seen him on Wally, Gilly. I ain't seen him on Sports Center. I ain't seen him on morning news, night news, Jennifer Hudson show. He ain't made no rounds. He totally went to California, predicted it was coming, and it came. I ain't seen nothing going viral on TikTok. He don't exist no more. So y'all telling me, y'all know they're going to do you like they did him, and everybody just going to, yeah, I'm going to prepare. No, you not. No, y'all not. It's just a vision that came to you. You might think something wrong with you. You might be slow to tell your partner. But the Most High is giving exact detail to Noah. Do you think they believe Noah?
Nope.
Did the world believe Noah?
Nope.
The world ain't gonna believe you either. But should you still prepare?
Yep.
Still should prepare. Go ahead, verse 4.
And again, El said to Raphael, bind Azazel.
Azazel.
Azazel. I don't know why I keep in it. Bind Azazel, hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and split open the desert which is in Dudael, and cast him in.
Listen, don't this sound like something in Revelation?
Yeah.
Well, why is the Most High, why is it in the book of Enoch at the same time of Noah and the flood? I gotta be careful because it's brothers out here already teaching that we in the 1,000-year reign of Christ, but I don't see Christ.
Now listen,
and Satan has been loose. Satan been loose a long time. He been loose longer than 1,000 years.
They ain't read that scripture right.
I just said we got to be careful. I ain't trying to explain it right now. We don't want to get in the rabbit hole. Well, right now we talking about throwing Azazel in Dundiel.
Yeah.
All right, go to the next slide. What's Dundiel?
Dudael or Dudael.
Dudael.
The desert of Dudael is a place in the Bible that is said to be the prison of fallen angels, including the Watchers. It is sometimes described as a region of the underworld, similar to Tartarus or Gehenna. The entrance to Dudael is said to be east of Jerusalem.
Now, if this place really exists, do you think they would ever let us know?
No.
Do you think they would put a base around it and study it? They'd probably put a base around it and study it and try to go down and try to talk to the fallen angels. Get some information so that they can rule the world.
You in there?
But the Most High said, bind Azazel. How come you don't ever see the devil or Satan in Enoch?
Because they got names.
Because they got names. Deities have names.
Deities have names.
All right. Go to the next. Go verse 5.
All right. And fill the hole by covering him with rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him live there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light.
Now, do you see 1,000 years of this? And is there a time period? He done. He done forever.
It's a rap for foul.
Now, do you think these is real rocks, or do you think these are spiritual rocks? Because I don't think you're gonna cover no angel, no spiritual being with no earthly rocks.
It's gotta be a spiritual rock.
So okay, there's a hole on earth, but there ain't no earthly hole with a boulder on top gonna keep no angels from getting out. Right. Verse 6.
Excuse me. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be hurled into the fire.
See, y'all stuck in Christianity and Revelations like I was. I was there. We thinking of these 1,000-year reigns. We thinking about the 3 years of this and 3 years of that. And come on now. He didn't say Azazel was going to be set free. Nope. Azazel is going to be in Dudael forever until the day of judgment.
That's right.
Right? Now remember that and put that in your notes. He there forever, into perpetual or forever. He there until the day of judgment. Then something's going to happen. All right, verse 7.
And heal the earth, which the angels have ruined, and proclaim the healing of the earth, for I will restore the earth and heal the plague.
Wait. So we know the angels came around the time of Jared. So now we talking to Noah. The earth is going to be flooded, but whatever was done to the earth, he telling the angels that to now heal the ruin and proclaim healing to the earth for what the angels had just did. So there ain't no way we wait to 1,000 years, 2,000 years, Christ come, then he reign, then they let the devil out, and then it's judgment. No. No.
Nope.
This is around the time of the flood. This is all happening.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
That not all of the children of men may perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons.
So every human ain't gonna die.
No.
But we're talking about what the watchers disclosed and taught the sons of man.
That's right.
Okay. Verse 8.
The whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel.
By Satan.
By Azazel.
By the devil.
By Azazel.
Satan.
Azazel.
The devil.
Azazel.
Read the next part.
To him ascribe in capital letters all sin.
No, the serpent.
All sin
The
ascribed
serpent
to
in the garden
Azazel.
of Eden made man sin.
Azazel.
No, the serpent.
Azazel.
The what's it called? The Narison.
Azazel. The dragon. Azazel.
The dragon. The serpent.
Azazel.
The wicked one.
Azazel.
No matter how you put it, all sin was ascribed to
Azazel.
how much is all?
Everything.
Just
All.
just certain sins, and then the rest was
No,
to
no,
the
no,
serpent.
no.
The sin of Adam and Eve.
No,
that was
no. All.
That was a real snake, or was that a being with sneaky, deceiving, cunning ways?
It was Azazel.
It was Azazel.
With his good looks and his cunning, condescending and persuasive tongue
Okay.
that then told Eve.
So we'll just put all sin on Azazel.
That's right.
And all who has sinned is because Azazel taught man.
That's right.
All right. That's what the book, that what Enoch said.
Hey, it's a in capital letters, all sin.
All right. Verse 9.
That's how we know it's all.
Okay.
Verse 9. To Gabriel said El, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers. Cause them to go against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle. Shorten their days.
Wait a minute. This look like this is happening before the flood.
Huh? Say again?
This is before the flood.
One more time.
He just told Noah I'm gonna destroy the earth by a flood, but he
ain't did it yet. Come on, I
Because he
caught that.
bound Azazel.
That's right.
Now he's saying kill all these little bastards, these little wicked children, these little monsters on the earth.
That's right.
Shorten their days.
Shorten their days.
Go ahead, verse 10.
No request that the watchers their fathers make of you shall be granted them on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years.
500 years. So we talking the timeline of these watchers, y'all. Them and their children and their fathers, they expected to live forever. But he put a time stamp on their life.
That's right.
500 years.
That's right.
He put a time stamp on man after the flood.
Yes.
He put a time stamp of
120.
So we can't use that generation of time.
No.
We got to use the angelic generation of time.
That's right.
Which was 500 years.
Right.
All right, go ahead, verse 11.
Verse 11. And El said to Michael, go, bind Simjaza and his team who have associated with the women and have defiled themselves in all their uncleanness. When their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations under the hills of the earth.
So he's not saying bind mankind for 70 generations. This ain't like the book of Daniel, or this is not like a human, because we know after the flood, it was dropped to 120, then it dropped to 70, right? So now we're not talking about that. We're talking about angels, watchers, sons of God. Now, bind them fast for 70 generations, right? Go ahead.
Under the hills of the earth.
Right. That's where he put Azazel. Right?
That's right.
He put them in do the L, right? Now he putting them under the hills of earth, under these mountains. You know, you be on TikTok, you see them showing all these petrified, look like petrified beings and giants. And, okay, that's what he told the angels to do. Go ahead.
Until the day of the consummation of their judgment, and until the eternal judgment is accomplished.
So, well, I don't want us to get bent in trying to figure out a generation of man, which changes, or a generation of angels, which ain't the same as men, right? All we need to know is Azazel and all his teachers and Simjaza and all his fornicating watchers are all in bondage until the day of judgment.
That's right.
Our Christian mind makes us think that they're going to be set free. The devil going to be set free for a time period, which makes no sense. If I punish you and I bind you, when I set you free, I'm going to destroy you.
To go do some more.
I'm not going to allow you to go and hurt. I just cleaned up. Right. I just try to help mankind get on their feet. Why would I let you go and do exactly what you've already done?
Again,
you're going to do the same thing if I set you free.
That's right.
So if you want to try to calculate it, right? I don't care about calculating, because it say when the time and the day they're going to be held to the day of judgment. That's all that matters. You held forever until the day of eternal judgment. So I'm not worried about Azazel and Simjaz and them getting out.
Right.
But if you're going to try to calculate it, use the time of Noah, and I guess you would have to subtract 500 years, 70 times 500. Right, you'll get 3,500. So 300. So Noah was what, 2,600, right? So you get him to Christ, that's 0, right? So 2,600 minus 35, then that's another 1,000 years. I would think some Johnson then would be out. They're not gonna get out ever.
Come on out.
Don't try to calculate. It don't matter. They're not getting out. And when they get out, they're not going to hurt the earth. They're going to be destroyed.
To fire.
But at the time of the eternal judgment, you're going to get judged.
That's right.
We're going to get judged. The wicked is going to be judged. Tim Johnson and Azazel and them not going to be judged by themselves. Verse 13, go ahead.
In those days, they shall be led off to the abyss.
Wait a minute. So after Azazel and Simjaza and all of them are, so whatever the calculation is for 70 generations, verse 13 said, in those days, at the end of those days,
they shall be led off to the abyss of fire.
To be what?
And to the torment of the prison, which they shall be confined forever.
They're not going to be let loose back on earth to do what they'd already done. They'd already done the damage. The blood, hit the slide up. No, that's the same one.
No, we are not.
Yeah, so the blood of the fallen angels have already come down through mankind. What Azazel already taught has already been taught. The children and their seed, them babies, them tormentors, they didn't kill them all. The blood is still flowing. It's still here. They made it with the Canaanites. They still had giants after the flood. They might not have the size giants they had before the flood, but they definitely had giants after the flood.
That is a fact.
So we're not going to argue what's a giant and what size it is. We're not going to get caught up into counting generations and trying to be prophetic. What this scripture say is after the time of them being locked up, they are going to be tormented and thrown into the pit of fire. That's all. That's all we're going to take from that, right? Go ahead. The next one.
Ain't no more freedom. The context of the books of Enoch, particularly the book of Enoch 1, a generation is often understood to refer to a span of time between the birth of one generation and the birth of the next. While there is no universally agreed upon duration of a generation, it is commonly considered to be around 40 years in the ancient text, particularly in biblical context.
And we know that ain't right, because we just saw, he said, angels, time is going to be cut to 500 years.
That's right.
Let's go back to Book of Enoch, chapter 20. It's going to be up in the slides, about 5 slides up. Book of Enoch, chapter 20.
Let's get it. Chapter 20. There we are. Okay.
Go ahead, Art.
Book of Enoch, chapter 20, verse 1. These are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels who is over the world, turmoil and terror. Raphael, one of the holy angels who is over the spirits of men.
Who's over the spirit? The Holy Ghost. spirit is within me. Who's over that?
Raphael.
Raphael's over the spirit of men. All right, go ahead.
Raguel, one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the world of the illuminaries.
Okay, he dealing with the celestial beings. Go ahead.
Michael, one of the holy angels, set over the virtues of mankind and over chaos.
Go ahead.
Sarakoel, one of the holy angels who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit.
Sin in the spirit. You got an angel over the spirits. Then you got one who deals with sin in the spirits.
That's right.
Okay.
Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim.
Serpents. So they got us thinking there's one serpent.
Right.
But he says serpents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Plural.
Verse 8.
Remiel, one of the holy angels whom El set over those who rise.
All right. So now let's look at this next slide. I think this one helped me better understand a teaching I even did before, right? So in the Old Testament, it says the Old Testament teaches heaven or paradise, spirits of the righteous dead, right? So then it says you can go, the opposite of heaven or paradise is Sheol and the pit, right? So we're talking about the grave, the spirits of the wicked and dead. Going into, is that you? We got some kickback feedback, right?
They didn't want you to say that.
So the Old Testament, this slide shows the Old Testament versus New Testament versus eternity. So in the Old Testament, we are taught, check.
You're not on that. There you go.
Check.
There you go.
Old Testament, we're taught heaven or Sheol, which is spirit of the righteous dead, is where they go, right? Versus the grave, where the wicked go, Sheol, the pit. And Abaddon is where the fallen angels. I guess Abaddon would be the same as Dudael, right? In the New Testament, we got heaven and paradise, right, where the spirit of the righteous go. And then New Testament teaches Hades. So Hades, Sheol is just the grave, right? But Abaddon, abyss, and Tartarus is taught in the New Testament. So when you think of the concept of Sheol or Hades or Abaddon, it's really talking about in eternity, hell or lake of fire is not the same as Hades or Sheol. So going into the grave is not the same as the punishment. Right now, Azazel's in Dudael, and Shemjaza was put in under the mountains of the earth. And then when their time is up, they're going to be judged and thrown into the abyss, right? So eternity for the wicked is what we say lake of fire, right? So I think we've been confusing hell, lake of fire with hell, grave. You see what I'm saying? The Bible in the New Testament and Old Testament is saying Sheol and Hades is the grave. And we've been mixing that up with the lake of fire. So this is a good depiction that shows you heaven, right? Paradise. Eternity is a new heaven, not the same as the old heaven or the old paradise. New heaven, new earth. Paradise, we assume, should have been earth. But it ain't earth no more, right? So now the new heaven, the new earth is the one the Father dwells in, right? So now I just showed this slide to show you the difference between Hades, Sheol, and then the punishment of the lake of fire, which is something totally different, right? So they're even trying to say the spirit of the righteous and the spirit of the righteous dead go in the Old Testament and New Testament, they go straight to heaven. But we're going to read and see where the righteous go and where the wicked go in part 4. But now let's look at a definition of Tartarus, because Tartarus is mentioned in the book of Enoch, right?
Yes, sir.
And let's see what the definition of Tartarus is. And it's on this slide, right? And Tartarus is pointing to a place of eternal punishment, a place where there's burning and death.
Mm-hmm.
The second death, I guess, if you're a Christian. All right. So let's see what Tartarus says. Go ahead.
All right. So Tartarus. In the Bible, Tartarus is the place where fallen angels are punished and held in chains of darkness.
See, that doesn't make sense. Now we got some Christianity teaching here, because we got is Dundale Tartarus, because that would make Tartarus a temporary place.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're chained in darkness, that's not the final punishment. The final punishment is the lake of fire.
The abyss.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Being locked away is not the same as being the death chamber. Is not the same as life in prison.
Right.
Life in prison, and then you die. So if we put your life at 100 years, if you live 100 years, Mr. Luther, we're gonna kill you. That's the ultimate death. You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High punished the fallen angels, and then after the time when the eternal judgment is, they're gonna be thrown into the abyss or to the fire. Correct? All right, go ahead.
All right. It's described as the innermost circle of hell, or the deepest abyss of Hades. Tartarus occurs in the Septuagint translation of Job 40:20 and 41:24, into Koine Greek, and in Hellenistic Jewish literature from the Greek text of the Book of Enoch, dated 400 through 200 BC. This states that El placed the archangel Uriel in charge of the world of Tartarus.
All right, so we read that in Book of Enoch, and in the 20th verse, the first verse, it said Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world and over Tartarus. And now we're reading here the breakdown, and it says the same thing. Uriel is in charge of Tartarus, which is this place where fallen angels are held in punishment. Go ahead.
Tartarus is generally understood to be the place where 200 fallen watchers or angels are imprisoned.
All right, so if you go back to that slide, we're talking about a place of imprisonment, not the final judgment. Abaddon, the abyss, Tartarus, that's not the same as being buried 6 feet under or being buried in a cave. It's not the same thing. The final judge forever and ever, listen to me, sisters and brothers. The final judgment forever and ever is either this lake of fire or the new heaven and earth spoken of in Zechariah and in the scriptures.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what we got to really do is find out if this slide is saying the wicked go into the grave. Okay, we all going into the grave, the dirt. So where does our spirit go? Where's our spirit going? You turn away. There you go.
Oh.
So your spirit, so where does your righteous spirit go? And where does your wicked spirit go until the day of eternal judgment?
Mm-hmm.
The fallen angels have been put somewhere. Azazel somewhere. Simjaza somewhere. So where is Dahmer and all the wicked people that have lived on this earth? Where's Napoleon? Where are all of these people at? Or Leopold, excuse me. Where are all of these people at? That cut off arms, killed babies, threw people to alligators.
The Hitlers and all them.
Where are all those people at, right? All right, let's keep going. Verse 14. Book of Enoch. Book of Enoch, chapter 10, verse 14. I think we're just gonna finish. I think we got 2 more slides left. Go back to Genesis chapter 10, verse 14. So now we know we got holy ones and holy watchers. I would assume one of these watchers came to Nebuchadnezzar, right? I wouldn't think that one of the 200, Azazel or Simjaza, came to Nebuchadnezzar.
That's right.
I would think it's one of these. I think it was 7 holy angels, watchers, right? Enoch chapter 10, verse 14. Go ahead.
Then Simjaza shall be burnt up with the condemned.
Wait a minute. We had Simjaza, he was already locked up. We read that Azazel was going to be locked up, and then he was going into the abyss of fire. Now Simjaza and all his followers going to be locked up 70 generations. And then verse 14 say that what was going to happen?
It says, then Simjaza shall be burnt up with the condemned, and they will be destroyed, having been bound together with them to the end of all
To
generations.
the end of all generations. Ain't Simjaza, Azazel, ain't no devil, ain't no serpent getting out for no time period. Right? Verse 15.
Destroy all the spirits of lust and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind.
Kill all the 200 followers, all their children, all the seed, all the bloodline. Go ahead.
Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the earth be planted with the righteousness. The plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore.
So this is even talking about even further. But to get to this point, we're destroying all wrong from the face of the earth. Are we there yet?
No.
No. Let every evil work come to an end. Has evil work come to an end?
No.
It hasn't happened yet. Has the plant of righteousness and truth appeared?
No.
Do we see that tree that we can eat of and live forever? It ain't happened yet. Is joy here forever?
No.
Not yet. Not yet, sister and brother. Forever and ever is coming, but we not in forever and ever. And if this is forever and ever, unfortunately, sisters and brothers, we in hell.
We didn't make
To
it.
give you, we didn't make it.
We didn't make it.
To give you a better day. If this is it, we didn't make it in our previous life or whatever. We didn't do what we needed to do. If we supposed to be living in hell or in some kind of 1,000-year reign of Christ, this ain't that and that ain't this.
Say it again. Come on now.
Right? And so we'll end this lesson with one passage. Let's get one more eye-opening thing on the way out. Let's go to Psalm chapter 82. This is one last passage that we've been teaching and using in error, saying that we are God. After what we read, let's see if we can get an explanation of who this is really talking about, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 82, and we're going to read 1 through 6. Psalms 82, 1 through 6. Go ahead.
El standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods.
Who is these guys he's judging among? Who is he waiting to judge? Who's locked away? See, we making it like Michael came and he fought this innumerable host and all these things. No. There's 200 fallen angels, and all we're dealing with today is the remnant of the evil that was taught. The things that was left on hieroglyphics and walls, the stuff they digging up. This is where they're getting their technology, and this is where they're getting the knowledge. Oh, I can fly. Why? Because I seen a flying machine on a hieroglyph on a wall with the sun, and I was like, people used to fly, then we can fly. How can, the ideas that come in was left from the ideas of Azazel. Azazel, right? Now, who is these mighty judges that the Most High is going to have to deal with? Right? Are you thinking about Job? Who are the sons of God that came before him? Right? When you look at Job 1, Job chapter 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Verse 2, watch this.
How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked?
Who's the wicked and who made them wicked? The fallen angels is wicked and they made mankind wicked. All sin is attributed to who?
Azazel.
All right. So who was coming to or fro from the earth?
Azazel.
All right. Go ahead.
Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to them. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. all the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Here you go. Who made them out of course?
I have said, ye are gods.
Who are God?
Them 200s.
All right.
And all of you are children of the Most High Elyon.
Yes, it'd be good if that was us, but that's not us. Go ahead.
But ye shall die like men.
If he was talking about men, this
He would have
verse
said
would make
men,
sense.
right? Because
He talking
men
about-
already men and men already die.
Fallen angels already had eternity. What did he
That's
say? They thought they was going to live forever, but he cut their time to 500 years.
That's right. And now they
Or
going
500 years or 70
70 generations.
However you want to calculate that prophetically, do your best. But they're going to be bound until the final judgment. But if this was talking about mankind, then why would we go all the way from verse 1 to 6, and then he say, ye are God. You are the children of the Most High. But verse 7 say what?
It says, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
Go ahead.
Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.
He waited for his final judgment upon them fallen angels with their leaders, Simjaza, Azazel, and whatever kind of Far East Hebraic, Aramaic interpretation of that name you want to use. But these 2 and 8 followers are going to pay for what they've done to mankind, said the Most High. And when that happens, then there will be a new plant on the earth, and joy, peace, and righteousness will come again upon the earth, a new heaven and a new earth and a new forever, which we call eternity.
That's right.
So as we went through this forever and ever, we've already seen who the enemy is trying to stop us from getting to forever, because them and their father already has a destination with the fire in the pit. All the teachings and all the technology and all the things that mankind is doing, shooting up these rockets, blowing into the firmament, all of this is for naught. Trying to live forever, trying to cryostasis, stem cell, all the things man is trying to do forever, it's for naught. This is all the things that the fallen angels could teach them to do, because they know that forever and ever, this ain't that and that ain't this. And so we know that there's an enemy, there's something that caused us to die prematurely. It caused the fallen angels. Their sin caused them to even have a sentence of death. So now that we know what's the cause, now we're seeing there's places for dead righteous and dead people to go. Now we have to see what happens after we die before we get to eternity. And if you stick with me, we'll end this series in part 4, if the Most High say the same, and we'll find out what happens to us after we die. Where does the wicked go, and where does the righteous go after they give up the breath of life on this earth? So Most High say the same. We will conclude that on the 22nd day of the 12th month, if we are given the time to see each other then. And so we'll conclude this third part of Forever and Ever. I hope the things came together and made sense to edify you. If not, please go back and watch the video over and over until you get the understanding. I think the Most High, and for all of you guys that support us, for all of you who are sharing this, for it to go out, for whoever it reaches. We don't worry about who it reaches. We just share it and let it go out. We thank you for all those that help keep the lights on, and the Most High bless you and keep you. We're going to close out with Ecclesiastes chapter 18?
Chapter 17.
No,
Salaki, you're all right. Chapter 18.
Ecclesiastes 18. Go ahead.
Before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Humble thyself before thou be sick, and in the time of sins, show repentance.
Go ahead.
Before thou prayest, prepare thyself, and be not as one that tempted El. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites. If thou givest thy soul to the desires that please her. She will make thee a laughing stock unto thine enemies that malign thee.
Man, I am trying to build up saints that will never be laughing stocks. Let's go ahead and close out. We're going to repeat after Brother Makaal, coming from Psalms chapter 150. Whenever you're ready, out.
Halal El. Praise El in his sanctuary. Praise him in the firmament of his power. Praise him for his mighty acts. Praise him according to his excellent greatness. Praise him with the sound of the trumpet. Praise him with the psaltery and harp. Praise him with the timbrel and dance. Praise him with the string instruments and organs. Praise him upon the loud cymbals. Praise him upon the high sounding cymbals. Let everything that hath breath. Halal El. Halal El Elyon.
Sisters and brothers, that concludes our Shabbat study for this 15th day of the 12th month, Most High calendar. We do, if you have received the email from me, I put out our feast dates, depending on us seeing the renewed moon on March 30th. So if that happens, then all those dates are correct. And if it's the next day, then you push it by a day. If it comes a day before, then you back it up a day.
That's right.
That's simple, but we want to see a renewed moon so we know for sure, so we can start the year's calendar correctly. Khan. And so with that being said, we thank you for joining us. Till we see you again, Most High bless you. Shabbat.